Welcome back. Today we're revisiting the voice behind Chances Are and Misty, and the quiet, difficult moment last year when his own team had to tell the world that voice was finally going silent. Johnny Mathis was born in 1935 in a small town in Texas, later moving with his family to San Francisco as part of the Great Migration, where 7 children shared a cramped basement apartment. Outside, though, the Fillmore district was alive with jazz pouring out of every club, and young Johnny absorbed all of it. His father, who'd once dreamed of a music career of his own before racism closed those doors, saved enough money to buy a used upright piano. It didn't fit through the front door, so he took it apart piece by piece and rebuilt it inside their living room. That piano became Johnny's sanctuary. He trained for years with a vocal coach, working around her house to afford the lessons, developing a range that let him move effortlessly between low and impossibly high notes. In 1956 he signed with Columbia Records, a decision made, according to Mathis himself, over an Olympic track and field opportunity he had to give up to pursue music full-time. His hits came fast after that. Wonderful, Wonderful, It's Not For Me to Say, Chances Are, and his greatest hits album spent an extraordinary stretch of years on the Billboard charts, selling millions of copies and cementing him as one of the defining romantic voices of American music. Touring through the South during the 1950s and 60s as a black artist came with real, documented danger, threats and constant risk that many touring black musicians of that era faced and rarely spoke about publicly at the time. Then, in 1982, during an interview he believed was off the record, Mathis discussed his sexuality. It was published anyway. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Backlash, dropped radio play, and a wave of hostility that most artists today would never have to face for simply being honest about who they are. He pulled back from certain parts of public life for a time, but he never stopped recording or performing. Even into his 80s he kept touring relentlessly, earning glowing reviews for shows that critics called some of the most romantic performances of the year. But by early 2025 his team made a heartbreaking announcement. Mathis, then 89, was retiring from touring entirely due to what his representatives described as accelerated memory issues. His final concert took place that May in Englewood, New Jersey. A representative noted at the time that while the memory issues hadn't significantly affected his daily life, the demands of constant travel had simply become too much for his body to sustain. Today, having just turned 90, Johnny Mathis has closed the touring chapter of a career spanning more than 7 decades. One built on a piano his father carried through pieces, a voice trained note by note, and a resilience that carried him through discrimination, public backlash, and the ordinary weight of growing old. If the music of your youth still plays in your heart, let us know your favorite Johnny Mathis song in the comments, and subscribe for more real, untold stories from the legends who shaped generations.